Most of the time, door swing problems don't happen because someone doesn't understand swing direction. They happen because in real projects, there are a lot of moving parts, drawings, coordination, field conditions, ordering, and somewhere in that process, small details get interpreted slightly differently. And when that happens with something like a commercial door swing, it doesn't stay small. It turns into reorders, delays, hardware issues, and sometimes full replacement of the opening. So instead of just defining swing direction again, we wanted to talk about where these issues actually show up on real jobs and what causes them.
One of the biggest patterns we see is that the issue starts way before the door is ever installed. It starts in how the opening is being referenced, because you might have a set of drawings showing one perspective, a field condition showing another, and someone placing the order based on how they interpret the opening in the moment. And none of that is wrong individually. But when those perspectives don't match, swing direction is usually the first thing that gets misaligned. And that's where everything downstream starts to shift. Hardware prep, fabrication, even delivery timing. So the issue really isn't the door itself. It is the lack of single, consistent reference point early in the process.
Once that mismatch makes it into production, the impact shows up fast on site. The door arrives, it doesn't function the way that the opening was intended to work. Sometimes it's immediately obvious. The swing just doesn't work where it's in place. Other times it's more subtle, like hardware not aligning properly or the door interfering with traffic flow. Either way, you're now in a situation where installation has to pause. Adjustments need to be made, or the door has to be reordered entirely. And what makes it more disruptive is that it rarely affects just one trade. A single opening being wrong can hold up sequences across multiple parts of the project. So a detail that seems small at the ordering stage becomes a scheduling issue in the field.
There's also a layer where swing direction stops being optional altogether. In commercial buildings, especially on egress doors, swing direction is often governed by code requirements. If a door is part of an exit path, it may need to swing in the direction of travel so people can exit safely and efficiently. And that's not really about preference or design choice. It's about life safety and how building performs under emergency conditions. So when swing direction is incorrect in those scenarios, it's not something that gets adjusted later without consequence. It can create inspection issues immediately because the opening isn't meeting the intended egress requirements. That's why it's one of those details that has to be locked in early, not corrected later.
What we see across projects is that most people actually understand door swing direction. The challenge is not the knowledge, it's the consistency. Because the concept is simple, but the way it gets communicated between teams isn't always consistent. You've got design intent, field conditions, submittals, and ordering all happening in different stages. And every time that information gets passed along, there's a chance for interpretation to shift slightly. That's usually where issues come from, not misunderstanding the concept, but losing alignment as it moves through the process. That is why having a structured way to define openings matters so much in real projects.
Now this is something that we see consistently here at CDF Doors. It's not that teams don't know what they're doing. It's that the process between design and ordering leaves room for interpretation. And that's where small errors start to creep in. That's why ProBuilder is structured the way that it is. Instead of relying on back and forth communication and assumptions, it walks you through the opening process step by step with clear and easy instructions to follow and very helpful visual guides, including swing direction, hardware and configuration, all in one structured flow before the order is placed. So instead of interrupting the opening at different stages, everyone is working from the same defined setup.
At the end of the day, door swing direction is simple. The challenge is making sure it stays consistent from design to ordering to installation. Because when that alignment is there, everything runs smoother, faster, fewer delays, fewer corrections, and fewer surprises on site. If you want more breakdowns like this one on commercial doors, check out CDF Doors and ProBuilder, and we'll keep breaking down the details that actually matter in real life.